It's the R&B Show, the podcast dedicated to prep sports in the USA Today Network, Wisconsin area, and beyond. Featuring Ricardo Arguello.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen, eating up all the food.
And Brett Christopherson.
This guy threw at his own kid in a father-son game.
Produced by Jim Rosendick.
The once great chef, now a study in muffishness.
And now, the best dang prep sports duo in Wisconsin. Here's Ricardo and Brett.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Rosie. That's Jim Rosendick, the sultry voice that you heard to enter our episode number 33 of the only podcast dedicated to high school sports. It is the R&B Show. I should be more specific, dedicated to high school sports in the Fox Valley. I'm your co-host, Ricardo Arguello. Alongside with me, as always, Brett Christopherson, both of USA Today Network, Wisconsin.
And I am working on a new intro for you and myself. Brett likes this, so I'm keeping it as is.
Okay.
Why,
I just
why
had
are
a
you
little
going to switch
problem.
it now? I
Why
mean, we're
not?
almost done with the season.
Because he just wants to switch. We can play
You
around
got
a
like
little
three
bit.
more of these to do.
Oh, easy. Is it
Do it-
bothering
do-
you?
do it next season.
Brett's cranky again. Now, see,
cranky.
it's mid-May. It's
Do it next
beautiful
season.
weather outside, and this guy is just cranky.
I'm not cranky.
You're a little cranky.
I'm
Grouchy?
just trying to understand the logic
You're
behind
very grouchy.
switching up the
If you were a
intro.
Smurf, you'd be grouchy Smurf.
would
I
be.
hate this now.
I'm just, the logic doesn't make sense. Just wait till the new season.
Are you the one doing? Then don't worry about it, Brett. I mean, Rosie's the one doing
No,
that.
I'm not worried about
All right,
it.
well then don't worry
I have
about
no
it.
worries. I have no worries. It just irritates me.
No, everything irritates you right now, Brett. It's mid-May. You have 2 weeks or a week past our nice high school sports awards show, or a couple weeks now.
A week ago.
A week ago, right? So yeah, you should be happy. Well, that's right. We had.
I've
You
been
should
out
be
on the
happy,
bike. I've
yeah.
been riding my bike.
Then why are you
I'm
so
happy.
irritable?
You make me irritable.
Did you have a good lunch? Did you
Wearing
not have
that Bears,
lunch?
wearing that
That's
Bears
right.
shirt doesn't.
NFC North Division champs and future Super Bowl champs within the next 2 years. I'm
That's
calling
20
it.
years.
Yeah, well, either way, as long as there's a Super Bowl trophy, I'll be happy. But yeah, listen, we're not here to talk about any of that stuff and your grouchiness there, my friend. Get a Snickers bar in you. That's what we need.
I do need one of
We
those.
we gotta.
Those are
Next time, I'm
tasty.
just gonna bring those little ones here, just
Yeah.
to give Brett whenever
Little
he's
bite
get a little
sizers.
angry.
We should
We-
just
do we
have a little
have-
bowl full.
Do we have Snickers in the downstairs vending machine?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
And will there be
I
a
don't
vending
know.
machine whenever we move to
Hey.
our new office?
Can't
That's
be releasing information yet.
No, but
Good question.
someday we're going to probably move to a new office.
Yes,
I don't
you're
know
right.
when.
That is
could
true.
Be 10 years from now. I
Could
don't
be
know.
10 years. Could be this year. So we don't know.
That's right.
But I need a Snickers bar. I haven't
He
had one of
does.
those in a while.
Yeah. I have a nice little glass jar, and I think it's about yay big. For those of you just listening, you can't really see how big, but it's big enough.
Yeah.
Like a
And it's
big
got a
pickle
top
jar.
and we can put all the little bite-sized Snickers in there, and that way
Bring it in here
when we get
specifically for
grouchy-
BC.
Yep,
And he'll feel a lot better.
we'll put it on the table.
Okay. Sounds
all
good.
Saying like
can
I'm
see.
Betty White right now.
The last 3 weeks, just so you feel better, Brett. Last couple weeks.
Well, then you got to
after the
start
show.
cussing. Betty White
I
cusses
just
a lot.
I just say do a complete revamp in the off season.
Oh, well, we'll do a little prelim. We can do both. We can do it for the last couple weeks and then enter in the next season. Which, by the way, August is how far away? Only a couple months now.
Let's just enjoy summer.
Okay, here we go.
You
Now we
Let
need
me
to
get
calm
my
down.
bike
You don't
rides
even want to
in.
know what Brett and I were talking about yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Because
What?
we were going through everything, and all of a sudden, it's going to be Christmas. And we're like, oh, my God.
Yes. It's great. All right, enough of this silliness. Let's go over some of the things we're going to talk about today. Hey, listen, I was at 2 big conference track meets within the last 6 or 7 days here. I'll give a recap on that because I saw some fantastic athletes. Brett, I know you were at the NEC meet, so you agree with me on that. We'll talk a little bit about that and maybe some of the local talent, some of the athletes looking to shine in the upcoming week because state track is at the end of the month. End of the month. That's how fast it's
Like
coming
2
up.
weeks.
Yeah, it is. And then again, quickly into my nibbly bits, I just completed a feature on Leah Kralovets. I'm sorry,
Kralovets.
Kralovets, the great Denmark runner, great kid. Tell you a little bit about that. I also have something on Ty Brickner coming up, and then this weekend I'm heading down to Chicago for the White Sox Blue Jay series to catch up with my man Danny Jansen, and have a couple stories out of that as well.
Well, you're busy.
Yeah, that's fine though. This is good stuff because this is now the part of the year that I like, Brett. All the tournaments are coming up. Unfortunately, I don't think you'll be at any of them, but maybe next year, my friend, because it looks like your boy is doing pretty well, right?
He's doing all right. Yeah,
He
he's
finished second in the hurdles. I saw that.
300 hurdles,
Now,
yeah.
and here's the thing: he finished
yard.
second, but it's all relative because the guy he finished second behind is the likely state champ. You
champion.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was right there though, so it was good to see your
about
boy
a second and a
perform well.
half. Yeah, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for Luke Pingala. The kid is just a phenomenal athlete, and what makes him so tough on the track is that length. He's got those strides. If you watch him run in the 4x4 too, and we can talk about Freedom because that's a good segue into your topic,
go ahead.
track. But it's hard to catch. It's hard to chase him down because he's got speed, number one, and then he's like 6'6", and he's just got those long strides. So a lot of respect for Thane Jones and Freedom, boys and girls. They won the NEC titles. Watching, I guess, more of the boys' side because of my son being there with a different school and a different team. And Freedom's just so deep. I mean, they got guys that's scoring. It's kind of like what we'll talk about with the Kimberly boys in the FEA. They only won 4 events,
right?
But their depth, and that's the key to track. If you can get a guy scoring, finishing 3rd, finishing 5th, finishing 6th, all of a sudden all those points add up, and that's kind of what Freedom has. They just got depth up and down the lineup, and I think you would agree, both boys and girls, very strong contenders to bring home state titles, both sides.
Right. That Northeastern Conference meet was, by the way, on Saturday.
At Denmark.
Nice
little facility.
It is a nice facility. I've been there.
That meet flew. I couldn't believe
it was
how
incredibly
fast.
efficient.
Very
and,
well run.
They didn't waste any time. I want to send a shout out to the folks there. They also had a little bit of a spread there for the coaches, but also for some of the local media like myself who was there.
What'd you have?
So I actually didn't have anything because I had ate before.
They had some in the press
I did.
box?
They had burgers and brats and
nice.
stuff. I did have a bag of chips, but yeah, that was very nice. I thought
facility.
very nice.
You should see their new gym.
I have not been in there.
It's like a Taj Mahal. Did you walk through that?
I did walk
atrium?
through that, but I didn't go anywhere else.
Yeah, if you walk the way you entered to the right is the gym, and it's just like wow. I mean, it's phenomenal. And hey, credit to Denmark boys basketball for getting to state. Great team that they had in the NEC as well. But very nice setup. Very, very impressed. That's a nice little town, and I couldn't believe it. Looked at the watch. It was like, or my phone was like 2:30. We were done.
Yep.
That's unheard of in a conference meet.
They were as efficient as possible, and they did a great job.
There were no breaks.
And afterwards, I talked to Leah Kralovic again because she was one of the stars of
unbelievable.
Of the meet. And Brett, I mean, did you see her compete?
Yes.
I mean, she was lapping people in the 3,200 especially.
Yeah.
She was lapping some really good runners, okay? And it's rare to see that. I mean, she obliterated her conference record by 27 seconds. Now, if you're a distance runner, that's a lot.
Yes.
When you're bettering it by that much, and that is what she did. Now, she finished second in both events at the state meet last year.
She's winning it.
And hold on a minute now. I think it's Dana Fayen from Gail Etchick-Trempolo won both, and she's back.
Okay.
So it's going to be between those two. But to show you how much the Kralovic has progressed, she beat Fayen in the cross-country D2 championship, and it wasn't close. It was by at least 25 or 30 seconds. So I really think she has made that step up. She's going to Iowa. Great kid. Works with some mentally challenged kids too off the track as well. Does some tutoring. I have a nice story coming up. I think later tonight it's going to be posted and into tomorrow in the Green Bay paper. So, yeah, great kid to talk to, and her coaches, everyone loves her. I mean, she's very friendly. The sportsmanship is very high with her. She's friends with all the other competitors and runners and treats them with respect. Brett, we always talk about, we're always kind of dinging the young kids now, but here's an example of a young athlete, student athlete, aware of what is right and what is just, and it's really, really eye-opening and nice to see something like this at this level.
Yeah, she was our Girls Cross Country Runner of the Year award recipient during last week's Wisconsin High School Sports Award show, and that was the first award we gave out, and she set the bar very high with a very nice speech, and crediting her faith and very respectful to everybody.
Yes,
and I've seen her run now a few times, and she's usually. I'm going to say something that's probably going to rankle the distance runners, but usually when you're at a track meet, everything's moving, and then you're almost at the end, and you have the 3,200, and that's just sort of
slows
the brakes,
down.
and. But watching her run, just her way she just glides around the track, it's almost you kind of get mesmerized.
Hypnotic.
Like, wow, it's like, well, look at her. Nothing ever changes. It's just the stride. And you said lapping people, which you typically see in a 3,200 when you have a dominant runner like that. So she's phenomenal. And congratulations to her.
Well, not just lapping. It's one thing to lap the runners who are kind of bringing up the rear. It's another thing to be almost lapping the girls that are right behind you. Technically second and third. That's what she came close to doing. That is what shocked me. Like, whoa, she really is motoring around there. You know?
Amazing. And you know what else is amazing when I've watched these meets, especially in that race, is the officials, how they can know who has the amount of laps. You've got 2, you've got 3. It's like how they keep track
Ring the
of
bell. Ding, 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 ding.
how they can keep track of all those runners, because there was quite a few kids running in the 3200s. But they did it, and they got it right. And this is a fun time of year. You know, track is, I think, a very underrated sport, because I think there's so many cool events. You can always find something that fits for an athlete, and it really plays it into your training in other sports, you know, and it just, like, I've noticed both of my sons, I thought they became better athletes by being involved in track, just because of the lifting, the explosive movements that they had to work on, and just the overall training.
And their experience was positive as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, both, luckily, thankfully, both have got to run at lacrosse, and, boy, it would be great to do one more shot at that, but it's going to be tough, because that sectional is brutal.
Especially in the hurdles.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of great runners.
Yeah.
Great hurdlers, I should say.
That 300 hurdles, just kind of looking at that is, boy, there's a lot of tight competitors. But if not the hurdles, hopefully the young man can make it in two of the relays. They have pretty good shots at those. But you never know. You know that sectional's going to be held at Freedom. And
I'll be there, I think. Hopefully. Wait, is that this Saturday?
No,
it's the following.
Regionals are Monday and then Thursday.
Thursday, yes. Okay, so I should be there.
But I was going to say that around here, that sectional typically it's like a mini state meet.
Yes.
Because there are many of the state's best are in this sectional. Now, it is nice to see that they've kind of spread it out, because it used to be like Nakusa would come here in Cedar Grove, Belgium.
That was just last year you would see Nakusa.
Why is Nakusa here? Because they have some good runners. I was like, get them out to the west or something.
How the heck? How far out was Nakusa? Rosen, that out by where you? Isn't that
that's like
that's on
one
our
of the burbs of Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah. Why would they come over here? They don't. They don't now.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, let's spread it out a little bit.
Well, not just that. I think, was it Toma that maybe came as well? Toma. I want to say it's one of those schools way out west. I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah. I mean, and then not to knock the western side of the state, but you see really good times and finishers that would have breezed in another sectional on the other side of the state that end up staying home. So WI's got to do a little bit better job of spreading that out a little bit. And like Cedar Grove too, I think now they stay in the south.
Okay.
That's kind of in that Sheboygan, Milwaukee range. So I don't know, but it's gonna be fun time. Looking forward to. Hopefully the weather stays how it's been.
I agree.
And,
it was great weather.
That's always easier to run
on Saturday and Monday. Also for the FVMU. A couple more things on Freedom. The girls team, I think, scored over 200 points. That is unbelievable.
Dominating.
And they're kind of flying under the radar a little bit. I was talking to Finster, and that's kind of like a mixed team, a young team in some ways. And he feels like they're still getting better. They haven't really reached their peak yet.
So that's the coach for Freedom.
Yes,
the Freedom girls.
Yeah, okay. And then obviously Thane Jones. A lot of that comes down. Actually, I had a nice conversation with Thane Jones. He was talking about how we were just talking off the record and everything, but so it's not a really big deal now because I'm sure he's made it known. But like he's like, well, how about a track? Why not like in wrestling have a track team championship? You know what I mean? Where it's a separate kind of event.
Oh yeah.
You know, so maybe the teams that have that depth, you know, can go like the top two from each sectional or whatnot and have them compete.
In a meet.
Thought that was a great idea, you know, and I think it would also do wonders to bring more focus and spotlight on the sport as well. Great idea.
That is a great idea.
Because Freedom and Kimberly, we have a lot of great track teams around here, you know, and I think it'd be great to see. Let's see how true your depth is, you know what I mean? Not just individuals from like one school or whatever. We're talking about true track teams. See how that would unfold.
Yeah, because sometimes you see these teams, you get to state and you have one competitor win like 3 events.
Bonnie Draxler,
and they're the team state champions rather than having a true team.
Right.
Where you know, and it's always a little bit different how you set up a team at conference in a big meet versus now you move on to regional section. Now you're trying to see how many kids you can just qualify to state. So I like that idea. I think Thane's onto something.
Yeah, another state event. So that one I can get behind. I agreed with him. So a good conversation with Thane Jones. And he was happy with how his boys fared. I know that the 4x4, the big, in my opinion, the 4x4 is right up there with the 100 and 200 in terms of like spotlight runs, you know, because it always comes at the end of the meet and there always seems to have the best athletes in it. Very nice to see them finish first.
You're going to do a story on Ty Brickner. It's good to see him back too, and after that knee injury that he suffered in basketball his junior year, and
early in his junior year,
and he's back and he's got some speed.
Yes, he does. He looked great. So that was a Northeastern Conference meet. Now on Monday, I was over at Appleton North doing the Fox Valley Association meet. Actually, that went pretty fast too, Brett. I thought Appleton North. Paul Engen was the announcer, by the way.
Oh, was he?
At Engen Field, so that's always kind of a trip watching him do that. But I thought they did it very well. Kimberly swept both the boys and girls. No surprise there. They've been doing it for a long time. And a couple of ones that stood out for me, Rowan Ellenberg winning a couple of races for Kimberly, but also our guy, Andrew Stone, setting the conference marks in the discus and shot put. Didn't get a chance to catch up with him because Fondy was out of there right away pretty much after his events were done because I don't think they had anything else going on. Oh, no, I guess they were in the 4x4, but I didn't catch up with him afterwards. Great meet for that young man. He is going to wow people over there at the state meet. I can't wait to see him, the Wisconsin Badger recruit, doing a great thing over there. And the FEA, again, Brett, comes down to depth because you mentioned it. Kimberly won 4 events, but it was everyone else that true depth kind of shines through.
Yeah, when you get the scoring is 10-8, 6-5, 4-3, 2-1 for the top 8. And when you can accumulate points, got a bunch of throwers that are scoring and you don't have to win the events necessarily to have big-time meets when you have 3 throwers or 3 100 guys or 3 hurdlers or whatever. They're all placing in the top 8 and scoring points. So
running back Caleb Frazier, by the way, winning the hurdles. And we don't. And this is no offense to Caleb Frazier. We kind of see him more as a power back, but he's got some speed, Brad, a little more quicker than we thought.
Yeah, I saw his 300 times like a 39 something. That's good.
Yeah.
And when you're getting under 40, you can do some damage at the state meet running times like that.
So that's a kid we have to watch also for the football season that's coming. I think that kid's going to have a huge year. Huge year. It's going to follow in the footsteps of Mulholland and Stewart. Of course, that's what I do.
Come on.
But, so that's a quick recap of track.
You like track? You like covering track?
I do. At first when I first started covering, I didn't like it just because I wasn't familiar with it. And that's the way with a lot of things, all right? If you're not familiar with something, you're like, but then once you get to know a little bit more and the coaches and everything, you start appreciating it more. And now I look forward to it, Brett. I always look forward to the track, the yearly excursion over to La Crosse and Big Al's Pizza. Yeah, so hopefully maybe, I don't know. Well, actually, hopefully I don't see you there. Well, I will see you there, but not in a working capacity.
Yeah,
that means that your boy is competing.
I hope so. That'd be fun. But
always a great time out there, though, for sure.
It is. It's so beautiful out there, and the bluffs overlooking the stadium and everything. But I remember when my oldest in 6th grade went out for track for the first time, and I remember thinking, really? We're going to do this track? Because I thought baseball or something, and fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I didn't run track. I stunk. So
yeah.
But you kind of get into it, and you start seeing the other events, and you're like, "This is cool." And then you're rooting for their friends, and you're like, "Oh, holy cow, these are good." And then I've told both of my boys this as a dad. Played football. My oldest played football and soccer and track, and the youngest has been cross country, basketball, and track. And of all the sports, my favorite to watch them in has been track.
Right,
and there's just something about watching runners, good runners.
When the weather is cooperating, when it's like, say, high 70s or something like that, or mid 70s and sunny and not too bad in terms of the heat or humidity, nothing is more exciting than being there at Veterans, Stadium or whatever, and having the people there watching, and then watching the 100, 200, 4x4. That is awesome.
Yep.
And believe me, I'm a guy who loves watching the Kohl Center, the hoops at the Kohl Center, and then football and stuff, but that ranks right up there when all the conditions are right. But that's the problem. When you get to state track, late May, early June, Mother Nature is always playing with us, Brett.
I agree. I think I have not seen individual state wrestling, so I don't know what quite that is like. But as far as
it's not the same, and I'll tell you why. Because individual state wrestling is just guys. Where here it's guys and girls. You're seeing the whole spectrum of athletes. Not to take anything away from wrestling, but yeah, in my opinion, that's why I would rank it above wrestling.
It's pretty cool when like last year I was there and I sat down to watch the high jump, and when you look back at the stadium and how full it is, I mean, it's just
great.
I think it's second to none as far as state events that the WI puts out.
I know you and I have talked about it, and maybe all three of us have talked about maybe it would be cool if it was in Oshkosh or something easier on us. But I think the aesthetic of seeing is that what's it called, Granddad's Bluff or whatever. The whole aspect of La Crosse and where it is and the hills.
City.
It's a cool city. It's a great backdrop. So it's a beautiful site for a stadium, and quickly is becoming one of my favorites. Actually, I never thought I'd say that 10 years ago.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I never thought I'd say that when my oldest started in a long run of track. No pun intended for both of my sons, but hard to believe that as I told my wife that this is all coming to an end here pretty soon. We're gonna We're going to have a wide open summer. So
yeah,
I'm
there
not
you
sure
go. That's good. Finally, you get to relax a little bit. Well, hey, those are, again, I talked about Leah Kralovitz and Ty Brickner have features coming up there. Also this weekend, traveling down to the Blue Jays White Sox game to catch up with Danny Jansen and his family, the starting catcher for the Blue Jays. So I'll have some stories upcoming within the next week on that as well. So those are my upcoming nibbly bits, as I like to call them. Hey, roundtable guests this week, Wrightstown Baseball. They were able to fill in kind of last second, BC, Peyton Just and JT Stingle. They just captured the Northeastern Conference
I saw a share of it, right?
Or share of it, right.
But they look good.
Yeah, they're playing very well, and they're kind of having an underrated year, so good to have them on the show and spotlighting them a little bit. We always love our folks from Wrightstown, good friends with everyone over there. And, Brett, I didn't mention our fantasy draft topic. Now, you took some issue with this. It's top movie sports athletes.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. Top movie sports athletes, Rosie. Now,
can that be teams or
single, right?
Athletes single? Like a group of
that's
athletes?
That's a great question. I didn't think about that, actually.
I think you got to go single, right?
I think you have to go single. And here's the thing. It has to be fictional. You can't have Babe Ruth in the movie about Babe Ruth.
Right.
Okay? No, you can't. Or Ali about Ali. No, you can't. It's got to be fictional athletes.
Okay.
Okay? Fictional athletes, top fictional, and it has to be individual. If we can do possibly the team one another time, but this is top individual sports athletes. So, all right, here we go.
This would be tough.
It is. Now, Rosie, did you go first last? I was gonna maybe I'll give Rosie. No. I'll let Rosie go first, and I'll pick second if you don't mind, Brett, unless you really want to.
No, whatever you want.
Okay, and then Brett, you can bring
because I usually win these anyway.
Yeah, listen to you. So, top individual sport athletes.
Speaking of that, though, how come we never see results from these past polls and all that?
Oh, because I don't really put polls out because I can't put 16 or 3. Well, I guess I could put 3 choices. I didn't think about that. I will do that actually next time. Do a little poll, Rosie, Ricardo, and Brett.
Okay.
I'll do that, Brett. Good point. Anyway, Rosie, you have the first pick. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with Jimmy Chitwood.
Yes.
Of the Hickory Huskers.
Let me just say 3 words to you, Rosie. I'll make it.
Oh, you will.
I'll make it. And you know I will.
Yeah, you're the champ. I mean,
I can't. First off, I'm not saying that's not a good choice. I'm like, what, first overall, you going with Jimmy Chitwood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, it's a top movie.
Look,
sports athlete.
I might, and you guys might take issue with who I'm taking first.
I know who you're taking.
No, who do you think I'm taking?
I'm not going to say.
Okay. I'm taking one Apollo Creed.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, initially you might think, you take Rocky. No, I don't want to take Rocky. I want to take the champ before him. Remember, Apollo, he was undefeated. I mean, he was like an older boxer in the Rocky timeline, right? In 76, whenever it came out. He was an aging boxer, just looking for anything now at that point. He had beat everyone. I think in the movie he was like 33-0 or 34-0 or some kind of awesome record. And then Rocky obviously takes him to the limit. He gets the win. We all know what happens after. But in terms of excellence, you'd be hard pressed to find a better athlete, just a fictional athlete than Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
Yes, he lost and all that kind of stuff, or he won and then he lost and all that kind of stuff. But I thought that was a great. I thought he was. They obviously patterned him after Ali because of the way he was boisterous and all that kind of stuff. But that is my top pick. Brett, you have 2, my friend. Your first round pick.
The Master of Disaster.
Yes, that is the King of Sting, the Count of Monte Fisto.
I got to go with Rocky Balboa.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I have never seen one man take the type of punishment that he has taken in those movies.
Yeah.
I mean, and nor have I seen boxing matches where they come out and they're just hitting like haymakers immediately. There's not even any dancing or feeling each other around. One man get hit in the face that many times and he keeps coming back. Like Ivan Drago said, he is made of iron.
That's right.
He is iron. He's like an Iron Man.
He could not break.
Okay.
So I got to go with Rocky Balboa because the punishment, he should have been dead long ago, but he's still there. He's training Adonis Creed now.
He is training Adonis Creed. Yeah. That's good. Okay, so Brett, you have a number. You have the second pick as well.
I'm going to go with one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm going to go with
Rudy is Real.
Nope.
Okay.
The Natural. I'm going to go with Roy Hobbs.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a baseball player as talented as Roy Hobbs who could bust the light standards and cause fireworks and
didn't he tear the cover off the ball?
He tore the cover off the ball, and I mean, you talk about a movie that just captured my imagination. Roy Hobbs.
I'm
Number
going.
9.
My second round pick is Jesus Shuttlesworth of He Got Game.
Okay, that's interesting.
That played by Ray Allen. That's my guy. Okay, Rosie. And you can't pick the field goal kicking dog. Don't be doing that.
Okay,
Or gotta be a person.
Or Gus, the field goal kicking mule.
Is that what it was? Okay, I can't remember.
See, mine are going to be like out there.
Okay, that's
They're
fine.
Just going to be out there. I'm going to go with. I don't know that he ever made it to the big leagues, but in the little leagues, I don't think you could beat anybody but Tanner Boyle from the Bad News Bears.
Okay.
Shortstop.
You are going out there.
Where do you come up with some of these?
I mean, he's very cultured. He knows all the movies and stuff. Okay, go ahead, Rosie. You have the third round pick.
Man. Well, here's another one. Yeah, I'm not picking the pros. He might have gone pro. I don't know, but I know in the movie he really shot lights out, and that was one Danny Noonan from Caddyshack.
Okay.
Is he really an athlete? I guess maybe
Golf, right?
As long
I
as
just
we're
watched
just talking
Caddyshack recently.
movie athletes. We're talking movie athletes. So no, that's fine.
He was a golfer, so I mean, like I said, I don't know whether he went pro or not. but-
Okay, and I'm gonna go with staying on the golf thing with Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
Okay, Brett.
How can I not go with this young man who had to move from New Jersey to California, trying to win the love of
okay.
his life, Allie, and I gotta
right.
go with the Karate Kid, Daniel LaRusso.
Oh,
the
yeah, I
crane
like
kick.
it.
How he brought down the villain, Johnny Lawrence.
from the Cobra Kai, right?
and now they're duking it out again all these years later in Cobra Kai.
and Ralph Macchio still looks. Well, he actually looks like he's aged a little
The
bit.
Karate Kid, Daniel LaRusso. I mean, he had no business winning that tournament.
No, he didn't.
But Miyagi-Do karate.
Shows you, Brett. It's about soul and technique. Go ahead, my friend.
Last one, going back to baseball, and this kid ended up actually being a star player for the Los Angeles Dodgers, but not before we got to know him first as Benny the Jet
There you go.
Rodriguez of the Sandlot. That kid was awesome.
All right, great.
That's a great list.
And I think it ended with him stealing home.
Yes.
Right? In that movie.
Yes.
Okay, and
Great
my
movie.
good stuff. My fourth round pick. I've always loved the guy, more so for his one-liners and everything like that. I got to go with Pedro Serrano of Major League.
Yes, that's good.
The big slugger. Can't hit a curveball until the very end when they needed him.
Joe Boo, right?
Joe Boo was his little.
Joe Boo, yeah.
What do you call it? I don't even know what that. It's called voodoo. I think is what it's called. But anyway, Rosie, you pick up. Well, let's go through our before Rosie. You pick your. No. Afterwards, we'll do it. Go ahead. So you have a fourth round pick. Last one here.
I have no idea who to pick now. I'm going with famous movie athletes. I'm gonna go with this was an older. It's kind of an older movie, but it kind of got banned a little bit. It was called The Program. I'm gonna go with that linebacker that was on Royd's Latimer.
What was it? Yeah, it was Latimer. Yes.
Yeah,
I don't even know what his
can't
first
remember
name
what
was.
his first name was though. Latimer.
I know who you're talking
from The
about.
Program.
And it wasn't a linebacker; it was a defensive lineman.
Was he okay?
Yeah.
Nobody took Clubber Lang. Huh?
Nobody took Clubberling. I was thinking
No.
about him. I already went to the
Or
Rocky
Adonis
well.
Creed.
And I couldn't think of what Charlie Sheen's name was.
Oh,
in
Wild
Major
Thing,
League.
Ricky Vaughn.
Ricky Vaughn. That's it.
Too bad you picked Latimer, my friend.
I liked Latimer.
You know what
But
one
he
we
just
didn't?
got in
You know
trouble.
which one we didn't pick, and he was kind of right there, but none of us really think of it that way. Forrest Gump.
Yeah, sure.
He was an
Yeah.
athlete. Started Alabama in ping pong.
Yeah.
Right?
It's and he was a runner, and he was a football player, and
Yeah.
funny you bring that up. I just saw the other day, 25th anniversary they're celebrating of Forrest Gump. 25 years ago.
I cannot believe that.
How can that be? That's one of
Yeah.
my favorite movies ever. That was so well done, and so
Yeah.
Tom Hanks was incredible in
He
that
was.
movie. Janai.
Peas and carrots. All right. So let me run down our picks. Rosie, Jimmy Chitwood, Tanner Boyle, Danny Noonan, and Latimer from the program.
He's out.
Ricardo, this is me. Apollo Creed, Jesus Shuttlesworth, Happy Gilmore, Pedro Serrano.
You're out.
And Brett, Rocky Balboa, Roy Hobbs, Karate Kid. I should say Daniel LaRusso. What am I doing, right?
And Benny the Jet.
And Benny Rodriguez. If I would have picked someone from Karate Kid, I would have picked Dutch. Remember Dutch? He was the antagonist,
Dutch
the blonde
was
hair.
actually in real life was Steve McQueen's
Yes,
son.
yes, he was, but he was such a real
He
jerk.
was, yeah, he was. It
He
was
played
good.
that jerk so well.
It was
And-
good to see LaRusso knock him out.
And to tell you the truth, I don't really think he was acting. You get a sense that sometimes these guys played so well that they're not really acting.
Not only that, but Miyagi took them all down.
Yeah, he did.
So Miyagi could have been one too, right?
Yeah, actually, Miyagi could have been
Mr.
one.
Miyagi.
Oh, Steve Latimer is.
Steve Latimer.
How about
okay.
Mr. Miyagi taking down Sensei in the beginning of Karate?
Do you know that
92?
was originally filmed for the first film?
I believe. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because
and they just edited it out like afterwards.
so it was a great
Yeah.
start to the second movie, but nothing beats the original.
Oh no.
By the way, hello to Jerry Laundrie and Wendy Reed. Appreciate you guys checking in.
Nice.
As
And
always.
I still can't believe that Allie wasn't in the second movie. I know they went over to Okinawa and everything,
but
but
Allie should be in the Cobra Kai series now.
maybe Elizabeth Shue. What's she doing? She's not doing anything lately,
I
right?
have no idea what she's doing.
Yes. Didn't she win an Academy Award or something? Now she's dropped off the face of the earth.
Now, if would we ever be able to, or are we too on PC to do favorite female love interest as a draft?
Oh, that'd be a tough
Is
one.
that that's not tough. It's great.
For movies or
Yeah.
for...
We'll
Because I would put Allie right up there in terms for me.
Well, I think if she were to return in the Cobra Kai series, Daniel LaRusso's already married, has a family, but Johnny Lawrence, he's still available.
Okay.
Kind of down on his luck. Maybe they can rekindle.
There you go.
That's
High
right.
school.
I don't know. Ever since she punched him at that banquet.
Yeah, where Daniel
Yeah.
got spaghetti dropped all over
Yep.
his white, whatever he was wearing, white pants, white shirt,
Yeah.
red jacket.
Yeah, good move there, being in a.
Well, it was
in a
1984.
Daniel's son.
All right, so those are our picks, guys. So I'll put these out there, and I'll put the poll. Then actually, I'll try to put the poll out there. Who do you think had the best foursome? I guess when it comes to a fictional movie athlete. So good stuff, guys. Thank you so much, Rosie. Thank you for putting everything together. Brett, again, we have a couple more of these before it's the end of the prep season, 2018,
Don't have
2019.
too many left.
No, we don't. All right. Everyone have a great week, and we'll see you back here again for another episode of the R&B Show.
I had two cameras to pick from that
Yeah, I was
time.
going to say. I'm glad you took the top
I
one.
took the harder one because it shows in my athleticism.
It does.